Next, we're going to go into the go-go years. Personally, I think this one fits where my retirement is hopefully headed at some point. I still have a little ways to go. But Mike and Laura, 64, 63, almost $2 million saved, healthy, active, excited for retirement. And their attitude is, we work too hard not to enjoy this, right? They really want to get out and travel. That's my plan. I'd love to buy one-way tickets to other foreign countries and just stay as long as I want to, right? But you got to have a plan to spend like that. And a lot of times people do that and they're afraid to spend the money because they don't want to run out of money. So here, challenge with clients like this is most retirees plans, they do a pretty good job covering some essential expenses. And stick with me on this, right? So they'll cover the essential expenses, but not necessarily the discretionary spending, especially in the travel years, the go-go years. So they leave some of those kind of exposed to some market volatility. And as I said, clients will either overspend early and have some issues in later years, or they become afraid to spend at all and they don't get to enjoy the retirement the way that they wanted to. And this is where right here it says a fixed indexed annuity. It doesn't have to be a fixed indexed annuity, but it's an annuity with a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit rider can really shine. All right, and we're talking about buying one and kind of triggering it right away in this particular scenario. So now we can potentially create not only guaranteed income, but we can guarantee income above the basic flooring needs. All right, we can do a little bit more to support that initial go-go lifestyle spending. And what's interesting here, or I asked you to stick with me, is in later years in retirement, when travel slows down, they're not necessarily needing the money for that discretionary spending. Inflation has sort of caught up a little bit, right? Advisors and clients, they like the idea of having that increase in income, but they don't like the idea of buying the lower income on day one compared to the higher income that they could get on day one. That's a hard pill to swallow, right? So in here, we can give them higher income, but we can also kind of offset for what inflation is going to look like down the road. So we're not just solving for income here. We're solving for a retirement lifestyle sustainability. All right, the strategy helps solve sequence risks. We're not worried about necessarily what happens in the next years because now we're really looking at the future as that third bucket. So you can invest more aggressively if you want, because we've done a pretty good job at covering not only the next few years, but digging into that second bucket. It helps solve behavioral risks from the client, lifestyle regrets for not spending their money earlier as they really wanted to. So for the right client, I think that's a pretty incredible value.